Hi, I'm Melisa Idris. Welcome to The Future is Female, the show where we find the extraordinary in every woman. Now tonight on the show, we're going to be looking at cleaning and household chores, which I feel is gender equality's final frontier, and it literally hits close to home. Joining me on the show tonight, I have Meriza Mustapha, COO of Maideasy, which is an online platform to hire part-time cleaners. Meriza, welcome to the show. It's good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
So do you agree with that gender equality in care work in the households, I feel is really quite the kind of final frontier in ensuring there is equality? So often in the households, we see that care work is left, or the women carry the heavy burden of care work in households. Is that something that you've observed?
Quite true. However, in Maideasy, we try to propose gender equality by having men as cleaners as well.
Right.
So it's not just women who are accustomed to this kind of work, but men as well are invited, and they can do much better than women too.
That's true. Okay, all right. So we'll rewind a little bit. We'll talk about the cleaners that you have. So Maideasy, was I accurate in describing the company as an online platform?
Yes, correct.
For
correct.
hiring part-time cleaners,
yes.
right? And how did you start it? You started it 5 years ago with your husband.
Yes, correct. We just had a baby at that time, and fortunately I sold my previous company, so I had time off from work to take care of my daughter. But it's very hectic, you know, to have a baby and then manage the home, and then I was dabbling into a few new things as well. You know, I wanted to try being an angel investor as well at the time. So,
okay.
but I was really bad at it. But we tried foreign maids, and so within 2 years I had 3. Can you imagine?
Okay.
Yeah.
And these were live-in domestic help?
Yes,
okay.
lived-in domestic help. So I understand where they're coming from, because they're far away from familiarity, from their homeland and all that, you know, and then coming into somebody's home. I mean, and some of them also felt away from their own children, and they have to come thousands of miles, you know, to take care of other people's children.
Right.
So I do understand the turmoil that they are going through. So I decided, yeah, why not we just try part-time cleaner? After all, I'm not working anyway, so I just take care of my daughter myself.
So at that time, 5 years ago, was it difficult to get part-time cleaners to find domestic help that wasn't, you know, full-time live-in domestic help?
Yeah, as you know, Maideasy hires 100% Malaysians.
Okay.
So it wasn't really accepted. They find the job demeaning, undignified, you know, dangerous and stuff like that. So I did very hard work and PR to change the perception of cleaning work, you know, to be accepted. Like if you go overseas, because I used to study in the UK, so I mean, I worked myself as a cleaner as well, right? So
I've also had housekeeping jobs as well.
yeah. So that is no big deal. But they come in proper attire. They have their health and safety standards, their SOPs, you know. So the job is different in a way that is dignified. It takes care of the person who's doing it, right? And so they are not expected to do dangerous things like climbing without a ladder on the grill or something like that, or in a condo. You know, that's very dangerous and very demeaning for the person as well.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, so talk to me a little bit about, you mentioned that it's fully, you employ all Malaysians.
Yes, correct.
Was that a conscious decision? Why not? Why have that criteria? Why not open it up to regardless of nationality?
Right. It was a practical decision, because we didn't want to go through the customs as well, and
immigration issues.
Immigration.
Okay.
We wanted to give the cleaners the freedom for them to go to the customer's house. You know, otherwise there is another abstraction layer that we have to provide, which is the transport, right? The logistics. So I had to, on top of having the app and the operations team, I have to have dozens of vans to go around KL and Selangor. So that wasn't part of the plan.
Right.
So we used Malaysians at first. It was a practical decision, but eventually it became a good decision.
Okay, and so this kind of came along at the, you know, the advent of the pickup of the gig economy.
Right,
So it was kind of modeled after that, the e-hailing services,
yes,
right?
Correct,
so
right.
you can, it's about supply and demand.
Yes,
so
correct,
part-time cleaners can offer their services, and then clients can opt to hire them as contractors. Is that right? Okay.
So Maideasy comes in as an intermediary, a platform, that solves the inefficiency between supply and demand. So we find the customers for the cleaners as well, and the cleaners, they are our gig workers. However, I have made the conscious decision to provide them certain feel of security. For example, for every job that they take, they have an insurance as well, and they have the right, because when they look at the app about the jobs, and they get to see the name and also the location of the customer.
So they are in full control of picking what jobs, when, and who, and where?
Yes,
okay.
Correct.
So you've given them that flexibility.
Yes, correct.
You know, there's also a lot of concern about exploitation in the gig economy, the gig economy workers. Is that something that Maideasy is concerned about?
Yes, of course, we are concerned about that. However, I worked with MDEC, with the e-risky program. I think they've done a brilliant job in getting gig platforms on board, you know, having this discussion, this dialogue with KWSP, Perkeso, and the Personal Protection Act. You know, we talk about that, and how do we protect our gig workers as well? How do we protect our customers? So in the end of the day, we want this job to be a dignified job, and becoming gig as an option to control the time and the income of the person doing the job. Because when I study my cleaners, we call them cleaning crew, right?
Call them cleaning crew. Because I wasn't sure, I was wondering whether you refer to them as contractors or so cleaning crew.
Cleaning crew, I call them crew. So when we do a study on the crew, they actually have to manage a lot of things, like they have to take care of their parents, and they have special needs children. So they need that time, that flexibility to attend to those issues as well. So the gig model actually fits them better than a full-time job.
Okay, well, let's take a quick break, but I want to come back and talk a little bit about your cleaning crew, how you vet them, how you train them. So let's continue this conversation after this in just a few minutes. Stay tuned to The Future is Female. Hi, welcome back to The Future is Female. I'm Melisa Idris, and I'm chatting tonight to Meriza Mustapha, the co-founder of Maideasy, an online platform to hire part-time cleaners. We're going to tackle a little bit about the issue of gender equality in kind of care work and household cleaning, because you mentioned a bit earlier that a lot of your cleaning crew are male, men.
Correct.
So which is surprising to me, because I had the assumption that men may not be so attracted to working in this area, but you've completely busted that myth, that misperception for me.
First of all, they are looking for work that provides them livable income, you know, stable income as well. I don't think they feel emasculated by the job. You know, they feel less of a man if they do cleaning. I don't feel that way at all with my male crew. So it's a suitable job for them, because it's a physical job as well. So they have the physical body to carry, you know, to move so far, not carry so far, to move so far, to move the carpet, you know, sweep under the carpet, sweep under the sofa. So they have that kind of physical strength compared to women. And what I find out is our top cleaners are usually men, because they come to training without any preconception. Because women, they say, oh, I do this at home, and then, you know, this is how I clean, so I don't really have to work. I don't really have to learn how to clean their way, the Maideasy way. But when the men comes into our training center, they say, okay, they come in as a student, okay, this is how you do it, okay, then I'm willing to learn this.
Are most of the cleaning crew of a younger age bracket? Are they mostly students working part-time?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so university students looking for extra work, working the gig economy, Maideasy on an option.
I would say university students come about 30%. The rest are in between jobs, or they're doing this part-time, and some are doing this full-time, quite comfortable doing it full-time as well.
Okay. So the company is relatively young. Can I ask you how it was trying to recruit cleaning crew? Because maybe there is a perception out there that, you know, university students, that they may see this as menial tasks, menial jobs. Cleaning is, there's a perception that it's not for locals, it's for foreigners, it's a lower end job, part of the 3D type jobs, right?
Of course, it's not only the students that feel that way. I mean, the adults as well feel that way. However, I mean, when push comes to shove, that you have to find your way in making some extra income. You know, I mean, I think I do really have to give them some credit for not wanting to burden their parents in giving extra money for allowance or things like that. So they do come to Maideasy doing the part-time work in you know, in between the intervals of their classes or something like that. You know, so yeah, it's a good it's a good model for them, because they can work whenever they don't have classes, whenever they don't have assignments to do.
Is there a vetting process, or is it kind of left up to the market, like, you know, client reviews, or they drop out of the system? Do you have a vetting process for whom you take on board as cleaning crew?
Yes, of course we have a vetting process. We do 3 steps of onboarding to Maideasy. So we have the interview, the briefing, and the training. So during the interview, we see if they are, you know, susceptible in listening to instructions, right, and as well as what do you call, have certain social decorum when they are meeting people, you know, something to do with communication.
Because you're entering somebody's household, right?
Yes,
you know, you are a stranger, essentially invited in for 2, 4, 6 hours or so on to be part of somebody's house for that time.
Yes, correct. So they must address the house owner correctly. They mustn't intrude into their personal issues, you know, things like that. Things like that we teach them during our training as well. So if we feel that they fit the certain profile of a Maideasy cleaner, then they're accepted to become a Maideasy cleaner. Otherwise, we do fail people as well.
Right, exactly. But it goes both ways, right? So it goes that you have to have, say, trained cleaning crew, but you also have to train your clients to treat them, treat the workers well. Have you had any challenges within that experience of you know, making sure that clients treat your staff, your cleaning crew, in the right way, not to exploit them? You mentioned climbing up dangerous stairs, probably to like dust the fans and stuff.
So when they come to the customer's house, they usually have a piece of paper, right? That paper is our service card. So for a typical 4-hour session, what we present them in the card. So we say in the 4-hour session, you do 3 bedrooms, 1 kitchen, 3 bathrooms, and the living room and the dining room.
Oh, so it's specified,
right? Yeah, it's
right?
specified. So we do this, and we also don't do this. Right, so if they
there are limitations.
Yes, there are limitations. We have to manage the expectations of our customers. That's why we developed the SOP of Maideasy's cleaning crew. So not only they can perform good service, as well as also managing the customers' expectations. That say, okay, this is dangerous for the cleaning crew to do. I mean, like climbing the grill or something without a ladder, right? That's dangerous. So they have the right to refuse that if that request.
So they know their rights.
Yes,
the
they know they
crew
have.
Their rights.
Exactly.
Because you know, if you remember, Meriza, there have been a few cases, I think, in previous years of you know, employers who don't respect domestic workers' rights. You know, they over exploitation. There's no rest days, asking them to do multiple things, wash the car, bring to the commercial premises. But that's not the issue with a part-time cleaner, because again, there is a contract, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, that's correct. We wanted to, when when we built Maideasy, we had a bigger mission, of course. You know,
What was the mission?
The bigger mission is to bring dignity to this job, to this cleaning job, because I have seen how cleaners are treated, how maids are treated.
Yes.
You know, they are treated like slaves, right?
Exactly.
You know, sometimes they are, you know, cramped in the storeroom, you know, not having proper room for them to sleep,
Yes.
or eating scraps from the table. I've heard those stories before. So I mean, when we develop Maideasy, we have developed the SOP, the certain customers' expectations, customers' declaration, and then as well as having this conversation with certain government agencies that asking them, how do we provide a safety net for the cleaning crew?
I
right?
love that, bringing
Yeah.
dignity back to, you know, cleaning jobs.
Yep, yep.
Wonderful. We're going to take another quick break and continue this conversation. Stay tuned to The Future is Female. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Future is Female. I'm Melisa Idris. I'm speaking to Meriza Mustapha from Maideasy. She is the COO and also the co-founder. Maideasy is an online platform for part-time cleaners. We were just talking a little bit about how, you know, to protect your workers. You said wonderfully to bring dignity back to cleaning jobs. I really want to talk about the gender equality of care work in the house. I'm glad to hear that many of your cleaning crew are male. I hope that they bring back that, you know, same spirit when they go home to their households and contribute to their households in kind of sharing the burden of cleaning work. But one of the things that I've noticed, and I too am a Maideasy user, is that women have a difficult time in asking for help sometimes, particularly because we feel that this is our burden to shoulder. We feel that perhaps cleaning the house is our duty, and maybe that comes from, you know, years and decades of conditioning, social conditioning. But has that been the case when you're trying to convince your clients to opt for help, to opt for cleaning help? Has that been something that you've had to address, particularly with women?
Well, I think times have changed. Definitely, I am perhaps a second generation after Merdeka or something like that. I don't really see cleaning as necessarily my job. You know, I think a lot of our customers feel the same way.
Right.
Because when you have cleaning done by someone else, the burden of cleaning the home is lifted, and you can spend more time with your family, with your hobbies, with your passion, and that relieves the stress.
Right.
Especially, I know this because I'm married, so I feel, you know, I feel that when someone else manages the home, you know, then of course I would feel less tired.
Yes,
you know, I wouldn't
you free
fight
up
with
time,
my,
right? You free up time, as
Yeah.
you said, to spend with family, quality time, to perhaps even take care of yourself. But I have to say, though, that, you know, that there is a sense of shame. Perhaps it's from another generation. There is a sense of shame in having to ask for help to clean your own house. And I've noticed people say this, that, you know, I clean the house before the maid gets here, or I you know, don't want to tell my parents that I've hired a part-time cleaner to come and help me. It's almost as if women feel, particularly women, feel that they failed in some way by having someone come in to clean the house.
Well, I would say that would be my parents' generation.
Yeah,
I suppose.
another generation.
But
I'm hoping that it's changed.
It's another generation because as you can see, like our generation, a lot of the women are working. So it's impossible to become superwoman, you know, cleaning the house, managing the house and having a career and managing the kids. I mean, that's crazy, right? You can't do all that. So it's okay to leave some of the management of the household to someone else.
Right.
It's totally fine. I think a lot of our customers feel the same way, right? So
and you don't have to clean your house before the help gets there.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's okay to have, you know, a messy house. I think nobody's expecting us to be perfect. Can I ask you a little bit about how you've had to deal with the COVID pandemic and the MCO? Because I know that with everything under lockdown, I mean, you know, of course, your cleaning crew aren't able to go into people's houses. Now that we've kind of slowly opened up the economy once again, has there been a pickup again, or are people still apprehensive about having someone else, a stranger, come into the house?
Right. Well, during the MCO, we weren't operating at all, so it was almost zero. However, when on the 1st May, Tan Sri Muhyiddin announced that some sectors are open, we rushed back, operations rushed back to work. I wrote a blog post, reminded our customers, and then called back our cleaners, our cleaning crew to come back to work. So demand has been picking up, crew are coming back. However, there is apprehension from them because they are afraid to go to someone else's house, and then other people are afraid to let a stranger in. But it's slowly picking up. I think because a bulk of our cleaning sessions are recurring. That means customers that subscribe to our service on a weekly basis, and things like that. So they are familiar with the cleaners. So I think they trust them, that they won't endanger the household with COVID.
Okay, so there is a sense of familiarity already. How do you ensure that the cleaning crew remain with the platform, with Maideasy, and not kind of bypass this platform and deal directly with the clients, and vice versa, right? Because I mean, clients don't necessarily have to go through Maideasy if they've already they have a bond, so to speak, with the cleaning crew.
I agree with you that could be a problem, but it's a natural occurrence with platform like us. For the cleaners who feel that they want to be part of Maideasy, because it's not all the time they can commit to that certain date or certain time. Sometimes they can't. So from their app, if they cannot make it for that session, they just say I'm cancelled, and then it goes straight to Maideasy's alert, and then our customer support will find a replacement cleaner for that household for that week or for that day.
So you don't actually miss your session appointment.
Yes. So they do find value in this kind of intervention, or this kind of extra service for the cleaners as well for the customers.
Okay. So what's next for Maideasy? Sounds like, you know, you've just you're picking up once again after MCO, and what's next for it?
What's next is we are going to develop our new app. So our new app will have enhanced services. So it's more than cleaning. So we want to replace that maid that you have in your house with Maideasy. So Maideasy can do your laundry, Maideasy can do your cleaning, you know, and more than that as well. So that's in the plan, in the pipeline.
So the idea is to outsource all the household chores
to Maideasy.
Quality time for your family and for the things that you love in life.
Yes,
wonderful.
correct.
Thank you so much, Meriza. It's been such a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for joining me on the show.
Yeah.
All right, that's all the time we have for this episode of The Future is Female. I will be back next week for another episode. I'll catch you then. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.